Good morning, everyone. Hi in the bushes. I hope you guys got some sleep. I honestly slept probably about 2.5 hours because my sister's kids got here around 5 a.m. and we stopped the live stream at 1:30. Then, of course, just a few minutes after we ended the live stream, they announced that Trump was coming out in 11 minutes. It took more like a half hour, I want to say. I did wait up and watch him do his speech last night early this morning and watched him, claim victory. Um, Fox News called it pretty early for Trump. And then since then, we have seen the Associated Press has called it for Trump. And they are saying that Trump has been elected our new president. I'm very excited about that. Hi, Seal. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So we're going to watch a couple different things. We are going to watch Trump Trump's speech for those of you guys who have not seen it yet. I know a lot of you guys did go ahead and go to sleep. Some of you guys are just waking up. We're going to go ahead and watch that. We're also going to watch a few things. Oops. We're also going to watch a few things and discuss the Amish vote. The Amish vote come out huge. Why did that happen? Why did so many thousands of Amish head to the polls for the first time in this election? A lot of people don't realize, but there was a whole lot of controversy surrounding a local Amish farmer. And he was raided by the FDA. They shut him down and things like that. That led to Amish coming out to vote in Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan, different areas like that where the Amish live. I would say probably total combined around 180,000 is the number that they are saying Amish that voted in this election that have never voted before. That's getting misconstrued. Some people are saying that it was all in PA. I would say probably about 45,000 ish were in PA. However, the rest of them were in other states. Pennsylvania has a population of 92,000 Amish. Obviously, you got to count for women or for children in that aren't eligible to vote. So I'd say probably somewhere around 45,000 Amish turned out in Pennsylvania. Did that make or break the election? I mean, whenever you start seeing the Amish show up at the polls, there's cause to be concerned, right? Cause to be concerned. Hi, Libby. Hi, Jordan Olive. Hi, Skinny. Good morning, Kim. Good to see you. Hi, Red Rock. Hi, Lioness. It's good to see absolutely everyone. Libby, I'm not sure if you were listening last night. It was like we were like 3 hours into the live stream and I totally apologized. I just checked my Cash App like yesterday or the day before. I can't remember what day it was. And I seen that you had sent one on October the 15th that I totally missed. And so I want to apologize for not noticing sooner, but also thank you for supporting the channel and helping me to be able to continue to do this. I know I do it on more of a part-time basis because I do work a full-time job. I do homeschool my children, and I'm active in my church community and active with my kids' sports and things like that. And so I just can't be online all the time. I love and appreciate everybody who is able to make a full living off of YouTube and they're able to dedicate all of their time and hours to their channel. It's just not something that I am able to do, especially in Biden's economy. Maybe once we get back back to lower inflation rates and a bag of grapes not costing $12, I will be able to spend more time on my channel again. Right? I agree, Skinny. The sun is shining brighter today. And so then here is I wanted to show you guys this. Cooter G actually sent this to me, and I think it's a great way to start this live stream. As you guys know, I am a Christian. I do believe in God, and I do believe that God spared Trump's life for a reason. He was saved that day just by a turn of the head in a split second that he decided to move his head just ever so slightly, and his life was spared so that we could have another chance. And I've tried to stay away from the conversation of good versus evil and things like that because I don't think that polarizing it so much on one side or the other is the right thing to do necessarily. And I don't think that people who have voted Democratic, I want to say this, I don't think that that every single person on this, so I mean 66 million people that have voted for Harris. I do not want this to come out and make it seem as if I am implying that you are some way evil or anything else like that. But I do think that Trump was spared for a reason, and that we have been given the grace of God to have 4 more years to try to help wake up our friends, our families, our loved ones, and help them see the evil that controls the behind the scenes of a lot of our government officials. And I'm not saying that every one of them that is evil is a Democrat. I do think that there are also evil Republicans in office that don't have the right things in mind for our country, for our future. And I don't think that this just applies to the United States. I do think that this goes far beyond that, and that we are looking at other countries dealing with this same group of evil people that are just trying to take over and trying to roll. I think we have 4 more years that we're holding that off, that we can hopefully try to do all of the things that you promised to God that you would do if Trump won. You know, if it was about sharing the gospel more often, or you know, dedicating your life to your community service and trying to build things up in your individual communities. If that was something that you were like, you know, please God, let this happen so that we can have this, do it. Don't wait. Don't walk back that promise, because I'm not so sure that we will have another chance. I'm not so sure that we will have another chance, you guys, to combat the evil forces that stand behind the scenes, that are trying to control the world into this bottomless pit. I do think that I do think it's that serious. And so I do want to play this. It's just a great way to start the stream. It's just a short 1 minute video, but this is at a gathering, at a rally. They were at the right rally this time, right? That's what it says. They were at the right rally this time. And after it was announced that Trump won PA, they just broke out in song. And it just really gave me chills. It really moved my soul. And it really made me stop and think, like, you know, this is it. We got our chance now. And let's try to unburden what has been. It just gives you chills. Like, seriously, I had to share that with you guys. You know, before we go anywhere else, I just want to praise and thank God that we are given another chance. Let's not screw it up this time, right? Let's not screw it up this time. And me too, Red Rock, my all-time favorite hymn. I love that song. I absolutely love that song. My pastor's doing a special prayer and song service tonight at our church, so that we can really just pray for our country, pray for our neighbors, pray for our loved ones. I know that there are 66 million people out there right now that are upset that their candidate didn't win. And that's not to be taken lightly. You know, a lot of the rhetoric that it was used by the Democratic Party, a lot of the hatefulness and deceitfulness that they have done, it's just It's very, polarizing, and it has separated so many families, so many friend groups from each other, and I don't want that, and I'm in no way doing this live stream as a slap in the face towards people who voted for the other candidate. I understand that today is a great day of mourning for them, but I do feel in my soul that I am thankful and relieved that this was our outcome. You love God and you know He has plans for us. Not that everyone will understand. We just have to have faith in Him, right? That He knows what He's doing, right? You're not one to bash the president, no matter who it is, right? Regardless, we have to come together as a nation now and like I said, unburden what has been. We need to. We need to get our families back together. We need to get our friend groups back together. You know, I hate every election season. It seems like people are pushed from one side to the other as to who they support, who they believe, and things like that. And then in other news, while there are 72 million people almost celebrating that Trump won, sorry, while there's people celebrating that right now, something is bouncing off right now in the wars over in Russia and Ukraine. And so, guys, please keep them in your prayers as well because North Korea military is now entering the war with Russia and Ukraine. And so, this could be devastating for those areas. But this is also something that could be devastating. We are sending troops over, we're sending, it sounded like battleships, something along those lines. I was trying to listen a little bit. They don't let you rewind on this live stream. I'm not sure why, but they are currently holding a press conference at the Pentagon about the response that is going on over towards this activity happening between North Korea, Russia, and Ukraine right now. Yeah, we needed to change. I agree. We needed to change. Hi, Mally Cat. How are you? Hi, Punket. The people have spoken. The people have spoken. Yep, prayed for God's will, not mine. That's exactly it. So let's go ahead and watch the speech that he gave. I will put it on 1.25 speed so that it is a little bit sped up because it is about 28 minutes long. And we'll take a look at this and see what all he had to say for those of you who didn't stay up until 2 a.m. almost 2:30 to watch it. Let's go ahead and oh, this is not it. Hold on. Here it is. Here it is. One second. I have to get past the song.
Movement. This was a movement like nobody's ever seen before. And frankly, this was, I believe, the greatest political movement of all time. There's ever been anything like this in this country, and maybe beyond. And now it's going to reach a new level of importance because we're going to help our country heal. We're going to help our country heal. We have a country that needs help, and it needs help very badly. We're going to fix our borders. We're going to fix everything about our country. And we made history for a reason tonight, and the reason is going to be just that. We overcame obstacles that nobody thought possible, and it is now clear that we've achieved the most incredible political thing. Look what happened. Is this crazy?
I think even he's in a little bit of disbelief, right? Because it's actually happened. Here it is. And I mean, a person having a split term like this hasn't happened since the 1800s. So it's unprecedented to have this actually happen. Hi, Mama Bear. You got into a fight with your friends because they are panicking, acting like the police are going to show up at their door and make them go back to the 1800s. I think Agenda 2025 is probably the thing that the Democrats were the most successful with pushing that narrative that was something that Trump was going to do. I really do honestly believe that he wants to heal our country. We have to get so far away from identity politics. We need to get away from this situation where we're polarizing things so much where you can't even sit in the same room with somebody of the opposite party. Last night, while we were covering the election results, we had a Democrat, two independents, and myself, which is a Republican, all on panel. I love them the same no matter what. Towards the end of the stream, Jordan came up. She let us know that she voted for someone else. She voted for Harris, and no one attacked her. We can do this. We can be part of the same community and love each other, even though we have different opinions. And so I'm just glad that it's over. Hopefully, well, actually, this is the first day, right? This is just the numbers aren't even totally complete yet. And this is the first day that they are saying that he is elected. What's going to happen between now and January 6th? That's what I'm concerned about. I really hope that they have his security completely buttoned down and that there's nothing that we have to fear. However, I don't put anything past the evil that exists in this world to try to keep this man from office, to try to keep what he's going to try to do. People are worried about the changing of power and things like that. I don't even think that's going to be a problem. I think that Biden and Harris will turn over the election or the office with no issue. Why wouldn't they? What I'm more concerned about is what's going to happen whenever he walks in there and he takes the thousands of bureaucrats that are behind the scenes that were never elected, that were never put into office by American people, that have been in their positions, that have been controlling the purse strings of the United States for years and years and years behind the scenes. What's going to happen whenever he goes in and starts saying, "Hey, you're fired. Hey, get out of here." What's going to happen then? That's where my concern lies.
But it's a political victory that our country has never seen before, nothing like this. I want to thank the American people for the extraordinary honor of being elected your 47th president and your 45th president. And to every citizen, I will fight for you, for your family, and your future. Every single day, I will be fighting for you, and with every breath in my body, I will not rest until we have delivered the strong, safe, and prosperous America that our children deserve and that you deserve. This will truly be the golden age of America. That's what we have to have. This is a magnificent victory for the American people that will allow us to make America great again. And in addition to having won the battleground states of North Carolina, I love these places, Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, we are now winning in Michigan, Arizona, Nevada, and Alaska, which would result in us carrying at least 315 electoral votes. But it's much easier doing what the networks did or whoever called it, because there was no other path. There was no other path to victory. We also have won the popular vote. That was great. I was proud of that. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. And winning the popular vote was very nice, I will tell you. It's a great feeling of love. We have a great feeling of love in this very large room with unbelievable people standing by my side. These people have been incredible. They've made the journey with me, and we're going to make you very happy. We're going to make you very proud of your vote. I hope that you're going to be looking back someday and say that was one of the truly important moments of my life when I voted for this group of people beyond the president, this group of great people. America has given us an unprecedented and powerful mandate. We have taken back control of the Senate. Wow, that's good. And the Senate races in Montana, Nevada, Texas, Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin, the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, were all won by the MAGA movement. They helped so much. And in those cases, every one of them, we worked with the senators. They were tough races. And I mean, the number of victories in the Senate was absolutely incredible. And we did tele-rallies. We did tele-rallies with each one of them. And sometimes we did 2 or 3 and it was amazing to look at all of those victories. Nobody expected that, nobody. So I just wanted to thank you very much for that. And you have some great senators and some great new senators. And it also looks like we'll be keeping control of the House of Representatives. And I want to thank
I just want to say, my husband this morning, the first thing he asked me, so he didn't care. He figured Trump was going to win the presidential election, which is great. You know, he was excited that Trump was going to win. He had a feeling. But the only thing that he had to say to me this morning was, is Bob Casey out of office? Bob Casey has been our senator for far too long in Pennsylvania. And this man has done nothing for our state other than run us into financial ruin. Pennsylvania, literally, prices are almost comparable to California and New York whenever it comes to so many different things. And they just, our governor, it's just all been Democratic for so long. And even after Trump won in 2024, or I'm sorry, in 2016, we still had all the same Democrats in our local state offices. And so it was like a sigh of relief seeing that finally a change. Honestly, I would have been okay even with a change if it would have been even a different Democrat, an independent, whatever, but the same people have just been there way too long. So it was a blessing. It was a blessing to see that we finally have a new senator.
Mike Johnson. I think he's doing a terrific job. Terrific job. I want to also thank my beautiful wife, Melania, First Lady. Who has the #1 best-selling book in the country. Can you believe that? Oh, no, she's done a great job. Works very hard to help people. So I just want to thank her. But I want to thank my whole family, my amazing children, and they are amazing children. Now, we all think our children are amazing. Everybody here thinks their children are amazing, but that's a good thing when you think they are. But Don, Eric, Ivanka, Tiffany, Barron, Laura, Jared, Kimberly, Michael, thank you all. What a help. What a great. My father-in-law, Victor, is tremendous, and we miss very much Melania's mother, Amalia. We miss Amalia, don't we, huh? She would be very happy right now, standing on this stage. She'd be so proud. She was a great woman, that one. Beautiful inside and out. She was a great woman. I want to be the first to congratulate our great, now I can say, Vice President-elect of the United States, J.D. Vance. And his absolutely remarkable and beautiful wife, Usha Vance. And he is a feisty guy, isn't he? You know, I've said, go into the enemy camp. And you know, the enemy camp is certain networks. And a lot of people don't like that. Sir, do I have to do that? He just goes, okay. Which one? CNN, MSDNC? He'll say, all right, thank you very much. He actually looks like, he's like the only guy I've ever seen. He really looks forward to it, and then he just goes in and absolutely obliterates them.
I know a lot of people were extremely nervous about JD Vance, just like he said. I do think it was the right choice. He really did dominate every single stage he went to. He dominated every single interview that he was in, and frankly, he just made these reporters look saft. He really did. He made them look saft every time that he was questioned about something. He'd be like, no, no, no. like, here's the answer, but why are you focused on that issue? And then address the other issues that they don't want to bring up, the other issues that they were trying to keep behind the scenes and didn't want to touch. He'd give them the answer and then throw something in their face that should be their focus. And it was just absolutely brilliant the way that he did it.
Say a couple of words here.
Wow. Well, Mr. President, I appreciate you allowing me to join you on this incredible journey. I thank you for the trust that you placed in me. And I think that we just witnessed the greatest political comeback in the history of the United States of America. And under President Trump's leadership, we're never going to stop fighting for you, for your dreams, for the future of your children. And after the greatest political comeback in American history, we're going to lead the greatest economic comeback in American history under Donald Trump's leadership.
Thank you very much. He's turned out to be a good choice. I took a little heat at the beginning, but he was, I knew the brain was a good one, about as good as it gets. And we love the family, and we're going to have a great 4 years, and we're going to turn our country around, make it something very special. It lost that little thing called special. We have to make it so. We're going to make this so great. It's the greatest country, and potentially the greatest country in the world by far. And right now, we're going to just work very hard to get all of that back. We're going to make it the best it's ever been. We can do that. If we had to wait longer, I don't know. It was going bad, and it was going bad fast. We're going to have to seal up those borders, and we're going to have to let people come into our country. We want people to come back in, but we have to let them come back in, but they have to come in legally. They have to come in legally. Let me also express my tremendous appreciation for Susie and Chris, the job you did. Susie, come here. Come here, Susie. Chris, come here, Chris. Susie likes to stay sort of in the back, let me tell you. The Ice Maiden, we call her the Ice Maiden, right? Come here, Susie. Chris, come here, Chris. Susie likes to stay in the background. She's not in the background. Come here, Susie.
This wasn't expected, but I just want to thank, obviously, President Trump for this journey. It was a great one, and he's a hell of a candidate, and he's going to be a hell of a great 47th president. And this team that we had, the best team, and, of course, even my boss, Susie Wiles, the best. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you, Susie. Look at her. I've never seen her be shot before. Susie. They're great. Everybody up here is great. Everybody up here is very special. But the Trump, who did you say? Oh, let me tell you, we have a new star. A star is born, Elon. Now he is. Now he's an amazing guy. We were sitting together tonight. You know, he spent 2 weeks in Philadelphia and different parts of Pennsylvania campaigning. You know, he sent the rocket up 2 weeks ago, and I saw.
Before he gets into the story, I just want to talk about what you guys are talking about in the chat. I do think that RFK, what Skinny just said, will be more successful with his ability to focus on the medical side of things that he's looking for, to be able to focus on the Food and Drug Administration, to be able to focus on getting our foods back to healthy, natural foods instead of using so many chemical ingredients in them that causes all of these different side effects, that causes autism, ADHD, you know, all of these problems that we're seeing kids have day after day after day. I mean, I have two out of my 3 kids, you know, are dealing with different types of diseases and different medical issues. Is that caused by vaccines? Is that caused by the foods that we consume? Like, what is it? Because stuff like this didn't exist 20, 30 years ago. So what's going on? Or it wasn't as prevalent as it is now. And I do think that being in that behind the scenes role, instead of having the pressures of the president and having to jump through the presidential hoops, you know, he'll be able to clean out what he wants to clean out and get things done the way that he needs to, I feel like. I don't know. So I look forward to the changes, and I hope that they jump right on them. I hope I hope by the end of the first week in office, we see changes made that can really impact what the country is going through. Yeah, he will. You believe him 100% whenever he says, "I will fight for you." Me too. I mean, he's not just fighting for us, right? We are the public. He's fighting for us. Yes, absolutely. But he has children, he has grandchildren that he knows that if this country goes wayward now, he's 78 years old. This is all he can do to try to help put our country on a good path for his future generations, for his family too. And so it's just as important to him to make America great again, to make us be successful again, to make our nations healthy again, to make sure that foods aren't poisoning us, to make sure that the economy is booming, to make sure that inflation is good, to make sure that we're not replacing United States citizens with illegal immigrants. Like, there's so many different things to make sure that his grandchildren, his son, his sons aren't going to be drafted into these endless wars that are going on. It's all important to him personally as much as it is to each American standing out there. And so I agree. Hopefully having the Senate, and it's not just a small majority in the Senate. It looks like it's going to be 55. They're going to have like a super majority in the Senate and in the House as well. And so we're looking at a situation where if he wants something passed, hypothetically speaking, he should be able to pass it, even if there are a couple rhinos that try to hold it up.
Saw that rocket, and I saw it coming down. I saw it. It was, when it left, it was beautiful, shiny white. When it came down, it didn't look so pretty. It was going 10,000 miles an hour, and it was burning like hell. I said, "What happened to your paint job?" He said, "We've never made a paint that could withstand that kind of heat." And but I saw it come down and turn around, and it was, it's like 22 stories tall, by the way. It looks a little smaller than that, but it's big. And it came down, and you saw that fire burning, and I'm saying, only Elon can do this. It must be an Elon. And I told the story. I told it last night. I had a man on the phone. I had the screen muted, no sound. I was talking to a very important man, happens to be here. And that very important guy, one of the most important people in, I would say, the country, actually. But, I was president, and now it looks like I was going to be maybe president again, so I figured I could ask him to hold. So I asked him to hold. And especially because you're going to be president again, they hold. So I took the phone down, and I'm looking at the screen. I'm seeing this crazy thing that's going around and coming down. It looks like it's going to crash into the gantry. And I said, "Oh, no." And I said, "Do me a favor. Do you mind holding for a couple of minutes? I want to see this." I thought it was a space-age movie or something. I put the phone down, but I didn't pick it up for 45 minutes, and he was holding. But this spaceship came down, and I saw those engines firing, and it looked like it was over. It was going to smash. And then I saw the fire pour out from the left side, and I put it straight. And it came down so gently, and then it wrapped those arms around it, and it held it. And just like you hold your baby at night, your little baby. And it was a beautiful thing to see. And I called Elon. I said, "Elon, was that you?" He said, "Yes, it was." I said, "Who else can do that? Can Russia do it? No. Can China do it? No. Can the United States do it other than you? No. Nobody can do that." I said, "That's why I love you, Elon. That's great." And when we had the tragic Hurricane Helene, and
Just going to show you guys this real quick since we're talking in the chat about the Senate race. So it looks like the numbers have actually gotten a little bit closer now. So they're technically at 52 called for Republicans, 42 for Democrats, and then the Bernie Sanders won. Bernie Sanders won a seat. He's under others. We just call his party Bernie Sanders because that's all you know. But Pennsylvania is still within a couple thousand votes. They are at 97% reported. It takes a couple days usually, but they are more than 50,000 votes apart right now in favor of Dave McCormick. Um, and so with it being less than 1%, I think is what it is. Let me look at it again. But It may go to a recount between the two of them. I do have faith that Dave McCormick is going to pull that out. And Nevada is also very close. They're less than 0.1% away at 84% reported. But they are only like 1,000 votes away. 1,000. So if he gets Nevada and PA, then it'll be 54 senators versus potentially 44, because it looks like currently Wisconsin and Michigan are going to stay Democratic on their senator side of things. Now, they are 98% reported in Michigan, and they're about 10,000 votes apart, a little bit less than 10,000. Wisconsin is at 99%. I think it's safe to say that this one's going to the Democrat at this point. They are at 99% reported and about 30,000 votes apart. So only 1% of the vote left out there. I'm thinking that it's just going to stay Tammy Baldwin. So they're picking up at least one more seat. Michigan, maybe that 2% can flip things. 10,000 votes is not a very big number. And so it's possible that it could go towards Mike Rogers. But it's definitely too close to call in Michigan, too close to call in Nevada at this point, with that much of the vote still out, 16% still out. And then PA is of course, I think that's going to go to Dave McCormick. You're curious when she will decide to speak. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. She had a lot of people in her party upset yesterday because she didn't come out and speak. Um, which we played that video last night. I'll play it again. But so the House results right now, it is still pending, obviously. But if you look at the areas that are pending, they're already red on the map. They're just waiting for the final tallies to come in. The majority is going to go to the Republicans, they're already saying, because of the colors that are showing on the map. Now it's still going to be close. It's not going to be like a super high difference, but it is going to go towards the Republicans' favor, where they are going to have the House and the Senate. So, and just to look at the actual official AP press results, they're looking at 277 currently for Trump, 224 for Harris, 71 million votes for Trump have come in, 66 million votes for Harris. Michigan still has not been called yet. Again, they're at 98% reported. This one's close. He is only up by 91,000 votes. I think it's safe to say that he's going to get Michigan with only 2% of the vote still out. Arizona was one that we were watching yesterday because we weren't sure if it was going to go to Trump or Harris. It kept flip-flopping a lot, while we were in between the two things. And so I'm looking for Arizona will turn red, in my opinion, and stay red, rather, I should say. I think that, 100,000 votes between the two of them, they're at 61%. I think he's going to take it. Again, Nevada with only 80% reported, he still is up by 59,000 votes currently in Nevada. And Alaska, he is up by 38,000. They're at 76% reported. So still waiting for the official numbers. But in my opinion, he's going to take those 4 states as well. I believe it puts him at 315. I would have to go to the clickable map so we could see it. But I think it puts him right around 315 yeah. If my brain would go with my tongue, but it'll put him at 315 votes versus hers. She's only going to go up by Maine. I think it puts her at like 228. I want to say Maine has 4. Yeah, 4. So, yeah. So Clinton didn't speak that night either. I think it's because they don't want to concede until the votes are completely in, just in case there is a recount. But I think at some point, whenever you start seeing the writing on the wall, the red on the map, and you see how big of the difference is, like PA, I was saying last night before they actually even called it, I was like, listen, he's got PA. At that point, we were so far between the two of them with the percent of votes that were left, that there was no way that she was going to get enough votes to potentially beat him. And so I was shocked that it was taking as long as what it was to actually call the race finished. So we closed up last night's live stream with me saying, well, Trump won the election, guys. It's bedtime. Um, and so that's just where we were with it. But I think at that point, whenever you see the writing on the wall, I wish that people would just concede, but I know that they are worried. Her campaign said that they were going to ensure that every single vote was counted, which is great because, every vote does matter. But at the same time, whenever you start to get so far apart with such small percentages left to count, and there's no possibility of changing it, like just concede. Just concede. Just don't waste everybody's time. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. So, that's just my thought process on it. I think the things that really flipped this was RFK. RFK telling people to vote for Trump. His endorsement for Trump instead of himself, I think is literally what won this. Between that and the Amish voters and what Harris did to the Jewish and Muslim voters. She tried to side with both of them, and those two communities couldn't be further apart in what they're desiring. And by trying to pretend she was on both of their sides, I think she lost a lot of both groups' votes. And those things all added together has led to this red wave that we're seeing. And my thought process is I really hope and pray that we can see this continue until we can get our country back on course. Am I saying that I will vote Republican forever? No, because we know that when any one party being in power for too long, sometimes it just leads to that slippery slope where they start taking bribes, they start taking, you know, they start not looking at the actual things that need to be looked at. Money makes people dirty. And so I do think that we need term limits. I wish that they would find a way to enact that while he's in office this time. Term limits, term limits, term limits. Like I said, we were stuck with Bob Casey since 2007. I had to look it up. He's been our senator for freaking ever and has done nothing for us ever. So, yeah. Right. When the numbers are this far apart, you're just making yourself look worse. So, what did Biden and Harris do to the Amish? Hold on. Let me see where are we at in this video. How much we got left? There's still like 15 minutes. Do you guys Okay. Let's go back to the let me go ahead and I will show you guys the Amish stuff and then we'll go back to the video. So, let me go. Let me pull up the right tab because I didn't have it up yet. Let me play the video for a moment and then I will find the Amish stuff and pull it up and show you guys because I got to open up the tabs.
And it hit, in particular, hit North Carolina. They were really devastated. The water. This was a big water, as big as we've ever seen, water hurricane. It built lakes out of nothing. Fields became lakes, and the danger was unbelievable. And the people from North Carolina came to me and they said, would it be possible, at all possible, for you to speak to Elon Musk? We need Starlink. I said, what's Starlink? It's a form of communication. So I called Elon. And I'll tell you what, he had, and it was very dangerous. People would die. They had no communication. All the wires went down. I called Elon Musk. I said, Elon, you have something called Starlink. Is that right? Yes, I do. What the hell is it? He said, it's a communication system. That's very good. I said, Elon, they need it really, really badly in North Carolina. Can you get it? He had that there so fast. It was incredible. So, and it was great. It saved a lot of lives. He saved a lot of lives. But he's a character. He's a special guy. He's a super genius. We have to protect our geniuses. We don't have that many of them. We have to protect our super geniuses. I want to thank some of the guys. We have up here today the U.S. Open champion. He's a fantastic golfer, slightly longer than me. It's a little bit longer than me. Just a little bit. Bryson DeChambeau is up here someplace. What happened to Bryson? Where is he? Bryson. Oh, he was shot. He's hitting balls. Oh, he's on the way. He's hitting balls. Bryson. Oh, look at him. He's got a great career going. Great U.S. Open, Bryson. That's a fantastic job. And we also have a man, Dana White, who has done some job. He's a tough guy. So Dana started UFC and came to me, do you mind if I use your, nobody wanted to give him a rinse because they said it's a rough sport, a little rough. And I helped him out a little bit, and I went, and they said, this is the roughest sport I've ever seen, but I began to like it, and he loved it, and nobody's done a better job in sports. And you know, he's a very motivational kind of a guy, what he does. He gets these fighters, and they really go at it, and it's become one of the most successful sports enterprises anywhere at any time. It's doing so well. I'd like to ask Danny just to say a couple of words, because people love to hear from him.
Here she goes. You're obviously late to the stream. I suggest rewinding. I am in no way sitting here doing like a like ha 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 you guys lost type of thing. I definitely address the fact that there is 66 million people that are out there grieving today because they're upset that their person lost. I don't know why you get that opinion towards me through these political type of streams. I know you have been watching my channel and other channels for a very long time. But it makes me sad that you think that, I don't know, that I guess that I'm polarized or divisive. I really try not to be. So I apologize if that's your impression.
Nobody deserves this more than him, and nobody deserves this more than his family does. This is what happens when the machine comes after you. What you've seen over the last several years, this is what it looks like. Couldn't stop him. He keeps going forward. He doesn't quit. He's the most resilient, hard-working man I've ever met in my life. His family are incredible people. This is karma, ladies and gentlemen. He deserves this. They deserve it as a family. I want to thank some people real quick. I want to thank the Nelk boys, Aiden Ross, Theo Vaughn, Bustin' with the Boys, and last but not least, the mighty and powerful Joe Rogan. And thank you, America. Thank you. Have a good night.
That is a piece of work. No, he's really an amazing guy. But most of all, I want to thank the millions of hardworking Americans across the nation who have always been the heart and soul of this really great movement. We've been through so much together, and today you showed up in record numbers to deliver a victory like really, probably like no other. This was something special, and we're gonna pay you back. We're gonna do the best job. We're gonna turn it around. It's got to be turned around. It's got to be turned around fast, and we're gonna turn it around. We're gonna do it in every way, with so many ways, but we're gonna do it in every way. This will forever be remembered as the day the American people regained control of their country. So I just want to say that on behalf of this great group of people, these are hard-working people. These are fantastic people, and we can add a few names like Robert F. Kennedy Jr. He can.
4 years does go extremely fast, and I hope and pray that we get satisfied, because I'm pretty sure that Trump voters only want what's best for our country. I know that one thing is, too, I really hope and pray that this identity politics, divisive hatefulness, that people have to either hate Republicans or hate Democrats and all of that stuff. I really hope and pray that the Obama feeling that has been brought to politics in the last, I would say, 16 years, that it's just gone. We have to stop separating each other like that. That's what I hope that we get. And so I really do. I hope you're right. I hope we do get satisfied in that situation, because we need it to stop. It needs to stop. Rogan inspires conversation. Yes. And for that, you appreciate him. It was amazing watching him come out and say that in the last minute. Do I think I don't agree with celebrity endorsements in general. And I think that they're kind of ridiculous, especially whenever the celebrities don't know anything about politics. They have nothing going on. You know, they have no clue what they're even talking about, especially whenever it's extremely, extremely like scripted, especially like you look at like Cardi B's. We looked at that last night. She had to literally wait until somebody brought her script out to her. How much could you really care about what you're saying if you can only do it off of a script, you know? That's it, Kim. So much hate towards Trump, but they say we spread it. No, we just want what's best for our country. Yeah. So, hi, Ringo. Yep, he won. Big win. Big win. Bigger than we've ever seen.
And he's going to help make America healthy again. And now he's a great guy, and he really means it. He wants to do some things, and we're going to let him go to it. I just said, but, Bobby, leave the oil to me. We have more liquid gold, oil and gas. We have more liquid gold than any country in the world, more than Saudi Arabia. We have more than Russia. Bobby, stay away from the liquid gold. Other than that, go have a good time, Bobby. We're going to be paying down debt. We're going to be reducing taxes. We can do things that nobody else can do. Nobody else is going to be able to do it. China doesn't have what we have. Nobody has what we have. But we have the greatest people also. Maybe that's the most important thing. This campaign has been so historic in so many ways. We've built the biggest, the broadest, the most unified coalition. They've never seen anything like it in all of American history. They've never seen it. Young and old, men and women, rural and urban. And we had them all helping us tonight, when you think. I mean, I was looking at it, I was watching it. They had some great analysis of the people that voted for us. Nobody's ever seen anything like that. They came from all quarters, union, non-union, African American, Hispanic American, Asian American, Arab American, Muslim American. We had everybody, and it was beautiful. It was a historic realignment, uniting citizens of all backgrounds around a common core of common sense. You know, we're the party of common sense. We want to have borders. We want to have security. We want to have things be good, safe. We want great education. We want a strong and powerful military, and ideally we don't have to use it. You know, we had no wars. 4 years we had no wars, except we defeated ISIS.
This is the other side of things. People who are hoping that Trump falls on his face and that this 4 years doesn't go well for Republicans. Do you realize what you're saying? You're hoping that our country gets worse, and you're hoping that he fails at running our country. Why would you want that? Just so that your candidate could have been the better option. At that point, I guess I don't understand. I don't understand that standpoint. Even if Harris would have won last night, I would have been praying for Harris to have God's hand upon her and to do what's best for our country, praying that things went well for her, because if things goes well for the president and for the people in office, things go well for me. And so hoping that he doesn't do well, or hoping that things are bad for him, I mean, that just doesn't make sense to me. But one thing I won't tolerate in the chat, this has been an extremely open group. We are willing to listen to other people's opinions and things like that. There will be no name calling, period. There will be none of that going on. That is something that has constantly been happening throughout. Like, respect each other's opinions, listen to each other, actually read what people are typing, listen to the whole stream. Don't come in on one sentence and start keyboard warrioring it, right? Listen to everything and then communicate. That's so important, to have an open mind, to understand where people are coming from. Last night we had a Republican, a Democrat, and 2 independents on panel. We were able to have a 4.5-hour live stream, and not one name was called, not one angry thing was said, and we all got along. That's it. And that's what we need. We have to we have to do what's best for our country. It's not about who won or lost. I mean, it is, because obviously my guy won, so I'm excited about that. But even if she would have won, I still would have wanted her to do well. People need to get over their hateful feelings and stop and reflect on, why is your brain programmed to have anger at somebody else being successful? No. Yeah, there was no mudslinging, there was no disrespect, not between anyone in the chat, not between anyone on panel, and that's how it should be, that's how this channel is. And so that's what I would like to continue. Yeah. Yep. If your hate for Trump is so strong that you can't see past orange man bad and hate, 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 and you would rather see our country fail. You would rather see lives affected by the failure of our country because you want to watch him do bad. You need to stop and reflect on your personal feelings and your heart to see why you are willing to flush our country just so you can say, I told you so, or just so you can watch it get slapped in Republicans' face. Yep. People need to examine their confirmation bias. It's real. And another thing, as far as the abortion topic goes, I mean, we addressed this last night as well. I encourage you to go listen to the last 20 to 30 minutes of the live stream. Frankly, the rhetoric and the information that has been put out about these states that have the 6-week ban and things like that, it's just not truthful. There is no limit for any woman who is in a medical emergency can get an abortion up to the 3rd trimester. At the 3rd trimester, the baby would just be born. There is no law stopping women who are having a baby that unfortunately is in a situation where that baby is deemed not to be viable, forcing her to carry it to term. That's not a thing. And we went over the laws in Florida because that was the state that was brought up, and we took a second to look at that. I hate the fact, and I know I've seen the commercials. I watch Paramount Plus. Every commercial was for Kamala Harris for the last month and about all of the rights that people have lost. And frankly, if you take a second to stop and actually research what you are looking at for yourself and actually look up what it is that they are telling you, you will see that they are misleading you, they are lying to you, and that it's not truthful. Don't let information be spoon fed to you. This is the true crime community, for crying out loud. Do some research, put some work into it, and find out the truth behind what you are or aren't for on every issue, whether it's on stuff for Trump, whether it was on stuff for Harris. Really take a second to look into it. Yeah, many nurses took offense to those claims, like they're going to deny care to a dying woman. Come on, guys, use your brain. It's just something to attack emotions and to get people emotional. I feel like that is what politics turned into with the Obama administration. He brought in this identity of politics. He brought in this emotional state of affairs. They realized, just like a drama channel would, how much people get motivated by anger and hate, and they have fed the American public hate-filled rhetoric day after day after day after day after day, and people have been consuming it and not questioning anything. And then we have these situations where you have a group of people that previously were agreeing, that previously were able to communicate, and then you add one hate-filled person into the room and it gets toxic almost instantly. We have to do that. We have to take the hate out of your heart. Get that ugly out of there. You want to support somebody because you agree with their politics, you agree with their stances on different issues, you have a different idea on how things are good for what they are doing, you like her policies, 100% back your candidate. Do your thing. You do you, boo. You vote for who you want to. You vote for the issues that you think are important. But if the only reason that you are voting against Trump or that you voted because he already won, we're done. If the only reason that you voted against Trump is because you have believed the hate-filled rhetoric against him, I'm sorry for that. I am. I'm sorry for that. Yep. Research. I mean, even protesters in Chicago were educating that everyone can buy abortion pills online. So they canceled out their own rhetoric. I don't know what to say. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But take a second. Utilize, heck, Google will give you the answers. Some of them you may have to use DuckDuckGo. But don't let it polarize you so much. I mean, you won't have the chance. After this year, what are they going to do? They are going to spend the next 4 years trying to feed hate about the next candidate that they think the Republican Party is going to use. That's it. They're going to start today to attack the public's mind about whoever they think the next presidential candidate is. That's it. Who do they think? After Trump, because this is Trump's it. This is it. He's 78 years old. He can't go for a third term, right? Can't do it again. So who will we hate next? Who will we get people upset and angry about next? This is it, Lioness. Right now, our children need us united. Save the children. Take a second, and instead of hoping that Trump is unsuccessful and hoping that our country fails because your candidate didn't win, or rioting, looting, we haven't seen it happen yet, but it would not shock me one bit. Instead of taking that hatefulness and things like that and wishing bad on our country, remember that there are children in our country on both sides that need us to unite, that need us to move past all of this, to be unburdened by what has been. Yeah, he already said he's done after this. Well, he can't run again anyways. I mean, he'd be done, period. He won. So, who will they focus on? You said all the cat ladies are going after Vance next. Oh, man. I don't know. It's just sad. It's just really sad.
We defeated ISIS in record time, but we had no wars. They said, he will start a war. I'm not going to start a war. I'm going to stop wars. But this is also a massive victory for democracy and for freedom.
War issue. I want to show this again. Actually, I don't have it pulled up anymore. The war issue, they are currently, North Korea is going into Russia and Ukraine. Is they have a press briefing from the Pentagon going on right now. And so if anybody is going to be like, oh, he started the whole thing with North Korea. Nope. Already in progress. Wasn't him. Because I know that that'll be a thing in like a month or two. He's going to end wars, but here's this conflict starting, already going on.
Together, we're going to unlock America's glorious destiny. We're going to achieve the most incredible future for our people. Yesterday, as I stood at my last stop on the campaign trail, I'll never be doing a rally again. Can you believe it? I think we've done 900 rallies approximately from them. Can you imagine? 901, something, a lot of rallies. And it was sad. Everybody was sad. Many people, I said, this is our last rally. But now we're going on to something that's far more important, because the rallies were used for us to be put in this position where we can really help our country. That's what we're going to do. We're going to make our country better than it ever has been. And I said that many people have told me that God spared my life for a reason. And that reason was to save our country and to restore America to greatness. And now we are going to fulfill that mission together. We're going to fulfill that mission. The task before us will not be easy, but I will bring every ounce of energy, spirit, and fight that I have in my soul to the job that you've entrusted to me. This is a great job. There's no job like this. This is the most important job in the world. Just as I did in my first term, we had a great first term, a great first term. I will govern by a simple motto: promises made, promises kept. We're going to keep our promises. Nothing will stop me from keeping my word to you, the people. We will make America safe, strong, prosperous, powerful, and free again. And I'm asking every citizen all across our land to join me in this noble and righteous endeavor. That's what it is. It's time to put the divisions of the past 4 years behind us. It's time to unite. And we're going to try. We're going to try. We have to try. And it's going to happen. Success will bring us together. I've seen that. I've seen that. I saw that in the first term. When we became more and more successful, people started coming together. Success is going to bring us together, and we are going to start by all putting America first. We have to put our country first for at least a period of time. We have to fix it. Because together we can truly make America great again for all Americans. So I want to just tell you what a great honor this is. I want to thank you. I will not let you down. America's future will be bigger, better, bolder, richer, safer, and stronger than it has ever been before. God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hey, there we go. Yeah, just like inflation wasn't blamed on him. There's a lot of things they blamed on him, and that's what I mean. So they're going to spend the next 4 years dedicating all of their anger and divisiveness and things like that to the next potential Republican nominee, and then that's just what it comes down to. So now let's talk about the Amish community. A lot of people are wondering about this. There's been a lot of different talk about the Amish and why the Amish voters are coming out. I'm going to show you guys this article. This is from the Sun News. It says Amish voters turn out in unprecedented numbers and could tip the election-winning state, Pennsylvania, for Trump. So it says, despite their well-known aversion to voting, an often overlooked group in Pennsylvania understood to have decided to head to polls in their masses. So this shows members of the Amish community actually sitting there voting. This place also had chairs. Why did we not have chairs? I had like a box that I stood in. But standing there or sitting there voting in Pennsylvania, some of the buggies showing up. I know for a fact they also had rideshare options and vans that were driving them to the polling places and going there. It says almost 100,000 people live in the state, and they are famed for their dismissal of the government in favor of religion. But their support for Trump was ignited over the treatment of a local dairy farmer, Amos Miller. So, state officials raided his farm in January for selling unpasteurized milk. He was blamed from selling milk. He was banned from selling milk, which is a hugely popular practice for the Amish. I actually know people who buy raw milk just because of their digestive issues, different things like that. There are a lot of people who are trying to transition over to clean living and transition away from all of the different processed foods. Um, so this is what prompted this, though. So you took Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, the Food and Drug Administration, they went in there, they raided his farm. They've made it so that he can no longer do this. And this woke up the Amish. And they're like, whoa, if they can do this to him, they could do this to any one of us. And we cannot allow this to continue. Can't allow it to continue. And so what happened was this individual, let me read what this says actually. It says they have their eyes on Donald Trump as the Republican favorite, less government intervention. The insider said that was impetus for them to say, we need to participate. This is about helping neighbors, but it's feared that one of their many customs could stop dozens of Amish from going to the polling stations. What ended up happening, though, was a lot of the Amish leaders consented to the Amish coming out to vote in record numbers that have never been seen before. Their elders have said that it was okay. This guy, Scott Presler, went all around PA to all of these different Amish communities, talking about Lancaster, Pennsylvania, different things like that. And his mission was to convince the elders to allow their men to vote and then to get them registered to vote. Once again, they decided to do this because of that situation with Amos Miller being raided. And so let me just go ahead and play this video. It looks like it's a couple minutes long. Let's see what they say.
And now, drum roll, please. The #1 reason why everyone is switching to freeway is...
Wait, don't tell them. Let's let our customers tell them
The
why.
commercials. I don't know why this video thing is so big. It's like a 6-minute long commercial, I bet you. Yeah, Scott Pressler is awesome. You use raw milk. Right. Everything closest to its original form is the healthiest. They've been doing it for decades. The problem is, so what's happening is this guy is officially like shipping to like New York and local states like Maryland, places like that. He's selling so much milk that it's affecting their sales, maybe. I don't know what the purpose. They're saying that they think that I think it was listeria infection came from his products. It led to them going to raid his business, and he's no longer allowed to do it. But so if you stop one Amish farmer from selling milk that's not pasteurized, like they were saying, no one in Pennsylvania he can sell it to other states. He's no longer allowed to sell milk in Pennsylvania. But if you put that limit on him, that means that limit's on all Amish farmers. That means that limit is on all farmers, not just the Amish, because there are non-Amish farmers who also sell raw milk. And so it's a really big issue that occurred in PA that I think flew under the radar, that most people didn't even realize was going on. But it really activated those voters. And so you're looking at somewhere between 40 and 60,000 new voters basically for the Republican Party just in PA. Newsflash though, Michigan, Ohio, all of those places also have Amish that showed up to the polls today or yesterday for the first time, that were registered to vote for the first time, because of what's going on and the oversight that the government has to have its hands in everything. And I don't agree with that, I really just don't. So let's take a look at this video though and see what Scott Pressler had to say. This is from September, I believe.
We're not going to win Allegheny or Philly in this election.
He sounds kind of quiet to me. Does he sound quiet to you guys as well? Let me switch my... thing here and audio boost it.
We win 40% of Pittsburgh. We win 25% of Philly. We win. Is early vote action, earlyvoteaction.com. And while we've been focusing on all of the swing states, all of our time and talent these last 50 days are going to Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania wins the White House. So I have a state director, I have 40 staff on the ground, and as you can see, we're out at fairs. We're going to farmers markets, fraternity houses, American Legions, gun stores, supermarkets, gas stations. Our motto is to meet people where they are, bring our conservative message to the voter, and get everybody registered to vote. And so in Pennsylvania, the Democrats are down 300,000 voters from where they were 4 years ago, and the Democrats are also down 300,000 mail-in ballots from where they were 4 years ago. Pennsylvania is trending to the right, and at Early Vote Action, we want to deliver Pennsylvania for Donald J. Trump.
Yeah, I think there's challenges. I think with the candidates in the past that were maybe not aligning with conservative Lancaster County values, but we see that this time around we're focused on the issues. We've seen more and more crime. We've seen an uptick in the need for affordable housing, and we feel that there's some struggles for those who are coming into our country illegally, taking up resources and housing that could be used for those of us who are here in our communities to provide a comfortable living and to reduce the inflation that is that's just hitting all of our families too hard.
Recently, Shoemakersville.
I think what he said about the illegally, right? Nobody has ever said that we want to stop people from being able to come to our great country. No one, no one, no one, no one. Um, Legally, the illegals is what the issue is. I fully believe that.
Bill in Berks County, Pennsylvania, actually put out an ordinance that you can't have political signs out. And this is America. We have our First Amendment right to free speech. So we went to this parking lot next to a Sheetz in Shoemakersville, and we gave out 300 Trump signs in 3 days. We registered new voters. The excitement was palpable. And so, again, we're meeting voters where they are. I was just at the Green Dragon Farmers Market, plus 15 voters in just a couple hours, new voters. People not knowing that former felons in Pennsylvania can register to vote. People not knowing whether or not, if they haven't voted in a while, that they're inactive. A lot of the work that we're doing is education, and it's because we're in person to meet the voter.
We average 20 to 30 new voter registrations every Friday here at the flea market, and in addition to that, a lot of great conversations with local residents and even out-of-towners. Everybody's sentiment seems to be moving in the same direction. Everybody seems very positive about Trump. I think we're doing good work here. I think we're really helping move the ball. It's rewarding on top of everything else, just being out here with the people, having the conversations and getting them registered.
The top 3 issues in this election are: number 1, economy. I registered a voter. She was born in 1965. She's never voted. She said, "Scott, I'm voting this year because I can't afford anything. Life is unaffordable." Number 2,
It's crazy how the issues differ. So Republicans, he says, the economy. He's probably going to say the immigration, and then I'm sure we'll hear the third thing. But the issues differ. For us, it's all that. For the Democratic Party, they've literally run on just abortion. She has addressed no other issues. Abortion and hate Trump, hate Project 2025, which isn't even a Trump thing, and that's it. Just hate. That's all they have ran on. They did not run on policies at all. They ran on unfactual information about the abortion laws and hate.
it's immigration. Even though we're in Pennsylvania, illegal immigration affects every single state in the entire United States. And it's clear that the difference in this election is Kamala is going to be for a border invasion, and President Trump is going to be for a secure border. And last, this is most important, especially for our young people out there. Under President Trump, we didn't have any new wars. Now, under Kamala, under Joe Biden, Putin invaded Ukraine. We had October 7th, Hamas genocided Israel. If we want peace, if we want prosperity, if we want to stop human suffering, the choice is clear. President Donald J. Trump. Citizen 18 by election day, so 17-year-olds can register so long as they turn 18 by November 5th. Why is that important? Because election day, the last day to register to vote is October 21st. Voter registration is moving the needle, and we've seen that in Beaver County, that we helped flip last year from blue to a plurality of registered Republicans. And this year, we made history. We flipped Bucks County from blue to red. 4 years ago, there were 15,000 more registered Democrats. Now, there are nearly 2,000 more registered Republicans. That's a shift of 16,000 in 4 years to the right in a county outside of Philadelphia. That does not happen. And we are 233 voters from flipping Luzerne County from blue to red. These voter registration efforts make an impact, and I believe it's going to help win Pennsylvania.
And it did. It definitely did. Like this guy, he really, his group that was out there really just put in the work to help get Pennsylvania secured. But I think that there had to have been similar groups going out there for these other states as well, or maybe people are just waking up and smelling the roses. But we did talk about this last night a little bit about the fact that there are so many people that are like-minded policy-wise to myself, to others, that have never registered the vote, that never thought that their vote mattered, that never never took the time to do it. And I think if really the majority of people would take that time to put your ballot out there, great, 66 million people did vote for one side, 72 million people did vote for the other side. Where's the rest of the country? Because I'm sure that we have more than 135 million adults in our country. You know what I mean? And so why do so many people not take the time to vote in these types of elections? So, hi Bushes, how are you doing? Thanks for coming up.
I'm good. I woke up this morning and Trump won, and I was thrilled. I was thrilled. I hope he does a good job. I hope he gets Titanic turned around, and I just hope it goes well. Because he's up against a lot. There are many wars going on, and we got problems, and frankly, I don't see him ending those wars or getting us out of them. I don't. I think we're gonna have to fight.
I hope you're wrong. But I
I
mean,
hope I'm
again,
wrong
this
too.
is something that's already in motion and people will be like, "Oh, he
Yes.
said he was going to end the wars and now here we are fighting." But it's like sometimes to end a war, you have to finish it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And that's the unfortunate thing is that some of these balls are already rolling so fast. How do you jump in front of it without getting rolled over? I just
They've
googled
been
real
going for
quick.
over a year.
Yeah, right, exactly. I just googled real quick because I was curious. Again, we're looking at 139 million adults voted in this election as of right now. That's a rough figure. There are currently, according to the 2020 census, 258.3 million adults in the United States. And I think this is why it's so important that if you know someone that especially someone who is like-minded to you, that is not registered to vote and that is not out there helping with this process. I mean, we're talking 120 million people in our country are not putting their votes out there. Now, could some of those be illegal immigrants and things like that, or people who aren't eligible to vote? Sure, absolutely. But even if you're only looking at 80 million people, why is that many not participating? I said yesterday, you know, my sister, this was her very first election. She's been of age for a while. Like, why? But I'm glad that she finally, you know, took that step and joined forces with everybody. But mm, you know, yeah, we need a change. We needed a change. America is slowly dying. It's sad. We're here though. We got it. We got the change that we are looking for. Hi, Seal. Wait, Seal's up here.
Hey, Seal.
Happy
Oh, sorry. Hi.
birthday to you. Happy
Well,
birthday to Pete. I shouldn't say you. Happy birthday, Pete. Petey Pie.
yeah,
Is he listening?
I don't know. He's outside. I think he was watching. Oh, he was uh gloating, watching the view.
Oh goodness.
But oh yeah, he there's just one person on there he just can't stand. I'm like, why do you even watch it? I quit watching
There's
him a
only
long time ago.
there's only one person he can't stand on The View.
Well, one in particular, yeah.
I
But
could think of a lot more than one.
oh yeah, I just don't watch them. Um,
Right, right.
I feel like that I mean, sometimes they'll have something informational, but for the past, I don't know, 8 years, it's been all about hate and inciting hate. And I don't like that.
Mhm.
But you're not too far off. My birthday's on Sunday. We got two Scorpios in this house.
Hold on.
The restream kicked me
See.
off again.
Right now? No, sorry.
Oh no, okay.
I was told to play this video real quick, so let me see what this is.
Kamala Harris? Yeah, we got to, because,
But
I
yeah, I
mean,
think
I know
restream did do
some
something. I
people
can't stand
want
it.
her to be president, and other people want her to just go away. Me, I'd just be happy for her to get some new material. Here's the vice president this week at the Reading Area Community College.
The point about progress is to have the ability to have a vision and a belief and some faith in what can be, unburdened by what has been.
Unburdened by what has been. Hey, feels, I don't know.
Thank God we have been unburdened by what has been.
Like I've heard that before.
I can imagine what can be and be unburdened by what has been. You know? What can be, unburdened by what has been. What can be, unburdened by what has been. What can be, unburdened by what has been. What can be, unburdened by what has been.
All right, enough. I've got 5 more.
I can't. She is always doing that. Seal, your camera is on. I mean, it's dark, but it's like looks like it's on. Does that make sense?
Well, it says it's off.
Yeah. Hold on. Can
It's
can
off.
we still
She's
hear
just
you?
black.
Talk. Seal. No. Okay.
I hate this.
There she is.
No, you're here. You're
Sarah.
here. She
My
loves
God.
Restream, you guys. It's because
I hate
the
it.
it's a pain. It definitely is. We so the whole thing is she still hasn't come out to do a speech, and I'm curious, like, what will she focus on during her speech? What do you think her angle is going to be? Do you think she's going to hit the peaceful transfer of power, or do you think she's going to be like bucking against the results? Because I mean, they've criticized Trump every time that he's like, I'm in disbelief, or there had to have been something wrong, or whatever. Like, they've criticized every single time that he hasn't just conceded or taken the results sitting down. Um, and so, do you think that she's going to eventually concede, or do you think she's going to drag this out until everything is at 100% reported, and then
I
try
hope
to
she
push
just
for all the
concedes.
crap? Yeah.
I hope, because I'm gonna tell you something. I couldn't even consider her or listen to her as she was running because she didn't stick to any policy. It was just like you said, that she gave me nothing, and I was like, she's not gonna do a thing anywhere. She talked about what she would like to do, but there was no plan of action. There was nothing, and she didn't say a whole lot about what she wanted to do the next term. There was nothing.
Right. So Angela said off topic, but I worry that Raskin is going to challenge Trump's victory. And that's something I guess that's what I'm asking. Do we think that they are going to start trying to push, election integrity, and that there was some type of issues, and that they will fight against election fraud, because they are constantly, pushing, well, the elections don't have fraud. There is no fraud. There's no any of that, right? And so will they fight against this?
Oh, they'll come back and say now that there's fraud. I
Yeah.
mean, I do feel like that there will be those that do. Um, I mean, that's just what they're going to do. I mean, anything to downplay or to make this a negative thing. When I look at the picture you had of our country, and I see so much of the country in red, and I
Mhm.
realize that there are others who did not want Trump, and I understand it and I respect that. Everyone has their own beliefs, but when I see so many, so many that wanted a change for our country, that speaks so much to me. It speaks more about than than Trump or her. I think it's about us as people. We needed a change. We had to have something had to happen because I felt like we were just going down this tube, this void, that I didn't know if we would ever come back from. And I'm feeling a little hopeful now. I really am. I'm hopeful for, my grandkids. I'm hopeful for my nieces and nephews. So that that
Well,
people were
What
heard.
was it for you? And I'm just curious because you're saying about how him winning makes you hopeful. And then on the other side of things, we have, someone came in earlier and they were like, oh, basically not hopeful. and and so what makes you more hopeful now that Trump has been elected than you would have been if we woke up this morning and the suitcases brought votes in and Kamala would have been elected?
It makes me hopeful because I've sat back and watched for years and years and years, and I've heard both sides, and I just believe that the people of our country spoke.
Mhm.
Everyone spoke to what they wanted, and it's the people coming together that makes me hopeful. Um, it's Christians not being afraid to say that they're Christians anymore that makes me hopeful, because
Yeah.
we were getting to a point where Christians didn't were were afraid to say anything. We're so misunderstood. Honest to goodness, Christians are so misunderstood. Um, just seeing that we got to say something. We got to
Yeah.
vote. We got to say what we wanted. That's what makes me hopeful. I mean, if she would have won, that would have been the decision, and we would have moved. We would have moved on, and we hopefully, and like you said, we would pray for her and pray for our country and hope that everybody would get on the right track. You know,
I guess what do
we've
you
just been
think
on a
about the left? I wouldn't even say all of the left because, like I said, we had B-Tip on panel last night. He's obviously a Democrat. He's from New York. He has very very democratic stance on life. To my knowledge, I believe he is an atheist. Like he doesn't have like a religious standing to him. And sorry, B-Tim, if you don't publicly. I think he's publicly said that on panel before though, which is why I have no issue saying that. And so my thing is even he was like, okay, she can't win. You know what I mean? But so how do you get individuals um that are upset this morning, that are thinking, this is the end of the world, or hoping. I mean, I've seen people hoping that he does poorly. I've seen people hoping that this is like a slap in the face and that we chose wrong and all of those things. And I guess where does that come from? Where does that divisiveness and that hate-filled rhetoric to the point where you're wishing for your own demise, you're wishing for your own country's demise, because you didn't get your way? What
it's
feeds
just
that side of the party to act and to perform? Not even that side. I would say the far left. Let's go to the far left because I know that there are middle ground Democrats, and I guess I shouldn't make it sound like it's all Democrats because, like I said, we had Democrats on panel last night that were okay. You know what I mean? And that it,
yeah.
it is what it is. But I think like there's certain groupings like I know individuals that are changing their profile pictures to black dots on Facebook and black backgrounds because they are in mourning right now for our country and in mourning for the fact that they lost the election. Where why does that happen? Like I guess why I don't know. How does it get
I
so
don't.
far with the hate?
I I believe in my heart I believe that hatred comes from a bad place. I really do. I think that hatred comes from, oh, let me see how I put this. It just comes from a bad place. I do not think that the news media and social media has helped at all in the past few years to bring our country together. I think that they just put out more hate and fear, and I think
Mhm.
hatred is a type of fear as well. I'm
Yeah,
so I really do feel bad for the other side, the other side that didn't want him to win.
right. And I mean there's a lot of
Because
them.
their belief is just as strong as the the Democrats' belief is just as strong as the Republicans' belief.
Mhm.
But I don't think that our country and the people have been given a fair, unbiased account of what's been happening.
Yeah.
They
Um,
haven't
when
at
you are
all.
just when you are just pounded day in, day out with nothing but, hatred and Trump's going to do this, Trump's going to do that. He can't do any more than what that Senate is going to let him do.
Mhm.
And there's tons of personalities, and not everybody is going to lean the same exact way. You know what I mean? It's like there's going to be different personalities and different opinions, and prayerfully that they'll come together on a common ground. And I'm praying that we can all come together on a common ground. I really
Yeah.
do. I don't hate anyone. I really
I think
don't.
that's it. Like we just need to get ourselves to a situation where everybody finds one thing that can unite us. Will it be our children? Will it be like the health of our children? I really think that that's a uniting factor that I'm hoping that people can focus on. Or, something that we talk about on this channel a lot is the child um the CPS systems. You know what I mean? The child protective services and the failures there. There's stuff like that can be focused on, I think, to bring us more back together and to realize like we are all part of the same country. We're all part of the same people. Whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, I've sat with you in these audiences for years, guys. I still love you. I could care less which party you voted for. Do I hope that people vote my way? Absolutely. You know what I mean? Because I want my party to win. But I think what Angela Halo said, it nails it on the head. She said, people identify themselves and connect themselves to their tribe, which causes them to take everything personally.
Exactly.
And
They
they
do.
have gone out of their way to make us think, hey, if Harris wins, then it's going to be the end of democracy. It's going to be the end of our country. It's going to be, sorry, not the end of the democracy. That's what Harris has been saying about Trump because of, dictator. But the right has made it a point to say, hey, if she wins, that's the end of our country as we know it. That the elections, if they make all of these illegal immigrants citizens, then we're going to be in a situation where fair elections will never happen again. They've put all of this fearful rhetoric out there where we really honestly are concerned if that happens, if that becomes a reality, right? And then on the opposite side of things, they have people saying, that Trump's going to be like standing in your bedroom, making sure that you're not doing things, and chastity belts are going to be in store, and that women are going to be dying left and right because they're having dangerous pregnancies that they can't have resolved because they have stopped doctors from being able to help. And like, I'm sorry, but that's just not, it's not the reality, I hope, on either side. Now, do I think that the economy is a huge deal? Yeah, absolutely. Do I think that making every single illegal immigrant a citizen of our country is a big deal? Yeah, I do. I personally, I side obviously more with the red side on these stances. I side more with Trump on the different things that he's saying he's going to do. We need to have a border. We have to. Um and so I guess like I can
Well,
understand
every other
where people
country
get
does.
so
I'm just going to
personal.
say, yeah,
Mhm.
every other country does. Um, I don't know why, everyone believes that we should just be so accepting. And I do not want to come across as being that don't accept people. I do. But I mean, when it becomes very harmful to your home, are you going to let somebody come in your home and destroy your home? Is this going to harm
Mhm.
your house? And no, you're not. I always try. I'm the worst. I really am. I've welcomed lots of different people in my home at times,
Yeah.
and because I try and be fair,
Mhm.
but when your home starts falling apart and you can't take care of it because of that, because of the person you let in, then
Mhm.
something has to be done,
Well, and not only
And
that, but okay, so if you're trying to invest in your future and you're trying to invest in your home and your children and different things like that, and you're scrounging to survive, you're certainly not going to take what money you have and send it to, your neighbor's house, right? We're sending all of our money
no,
overseas and then wondering why our people are sleeping on the streets here. It's like, come on, guys.
no, you have, I mean, you have to take care of your own. I mean, and I feel like that we've been giving so much to other countries and trying to help other countries and trying to be an ally and stay in everybody's good graces, for so long that we've neglected our own people. We have so many, we have so many that are homeless, that are living just barely on poverty level. Then you
Mhm.
got the ones that are in between. And when I say, and I feel really bad for these people because they don't qualify to get any benefits because they make too much, but um, they don't make enough they barely make enough to live from week to week. You know what I mean? It's just, there's no, they're not poverty level, but they're not middle class. They're not,
Right.
it's just, those people just fall through the cracks.
So
And
so I agree. I agree completely. And those cracks, those divides, like it has to be filled in. I agree. So Wally Wack just asked, why do people keep saying that Trump wants to take Social Security? Did I miss something? So
no, you
this
didn't.
was put out this morning. This was put out at 10:18 this morning from CBS News. And this right here, this Project 2025, which Trump has repeatedly said that he is not a part of, repeatedly. This is why so many people on the far left are so terrified of him because they keep trying to say that these plans are his plans. They claim that he's going to get rid of in vitro fertilization. He has come out and straight up said that he wants it to be free. He wants it to be paid for by your what's it called, insurance companies and things like that. But they just keep going on and on about this. And even this morning, so people are waking up. And I know my brother, for example, keeps touting to me Project 2025. He is terrified of Project 2025 and the things that it says. And even the day after election, they are continuing to drive that fear on CBS News to their people that they speak to about how, this is the end of the world now because Project 2025 is coming. Get ready. And this is why you see things like the like what was I going to say? The riots and different things like that. This is why you see a not peaceful transfer of power. They're trying to make sure that the left continues to stay separated from the right. And so let's see. It says Trump and his campaign worked to distance themselves from Project 2025 in the months leading up to Election Day. But Democrats have continued to tie the transition project to Trump, warning that if its policies and proposals are what Americans can expect if they elect the former president. Here's what we know about Project 2025. So, what is it? Um, I want us to get down to where they say what it's actually supposed to do.
Can I interject something real quick
Go ahead. Yep.
about 2025? So, everybody said, "Oh, Donald Trump is mentioned so many times in the Project 2025." So I downloaded it. I downloaded Project 2025. It is long. It is pages and pages and pages, infinity pages.
Hmm.
When he is mentioned in Project 20, so I did a search on how many times he was mentioned. He's mentioned a lot. He's mentioned in the context of each person that put together 2025, I mean 2025. I said so and so of he was a former, administrate a former person of Donald Trump's administration. Donald Trump's administration. That's mentioned more than Donald Trump. There's nothing in there that
Hmm.
Donald Trump endorses. So I don't
Right.
so I don't understand why people got so, if they said his name is mentioned, it's because all these people that they're talking about, they're saying, if I wish I had it in front of me, but I don't. Say,
Right.
Jane Doe was a office administrator in Donald Trump's administration. That's all it says about Donald Trump.
Right.
That's it. Just his administration in his former administration. So they can say what they want, but if you read it in black and white, there's your facts right there. It's there's your facts.
But see, so we've already experienced this even during this live stream. People refuse to take the time to actually look up the information themselves, and they're going to do something like listen to this video from CNN or CBS News and read down through this and assume, or maybe they probably won't even read down through this, honestly. They're probably going to listen to the 2-minute video and be like, "Oh, this sucks." 4-minute video, I should say. And I can't believe this is going to be our reality now, rather than taking the time to do the research and things like that. But this is why Wally, that people are worried about the Social Security. This is why they are concerned about abortion, because in here in Project 2025 it says about outlawing abortion pills. It says about doing pushing for that to be the issue. It says about targeting federal agencies and employees. This is why you see government employees typically vote for the Democratic Party, because Republicans are trying to ruin all of that. Let's see, immigration. Project 2025 recommends finishing the wall along the border, but also urges that they take a creative and aggressive approach to drug cartels. This approach includes using active duty military personnel and National Guard to help arrest with operations along the border, which, I mean, I don't see why that would be such a horrible thing, to be completely honest, to make sure that people actually aren't crossing the border illegally. I don't know. So there's just a lot of stuff that it just goes to the furthest extreme. It goes to the furthest extreme on all of it, and that's it. Every policy that you can think of, Project 2025. It's what, like 900 pages, y'all?
Oh gosh, yeah. Like I said, it's just it's just forever. I couldn't even. I got exhausted. Um, just reading it. But there's nowhere in there that says that he endorses anything about 2025. I just think that it's because the people that worked with him or that he had in his, last administration put this together, and they want to ride on his coattails, basically. You know, it's long. It is very, very long. I mean,
They're
if anybody really wanted to,
gonna come out of that gate after JD Vance, because by right, that next election is his.
So it
I
looks
think they're
like,
gonna pound him.
yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure, they're going to go right after him. So it looks like Harris is expected to speak at 4 p.m. today, to do her little speech thing. It says she still has not conceded the election, despite it becoming clear by Wednesday morning that Trump had secured enough votes in the key states to win. So she is 4 p.m. So I think what we'll do, because I do have to work at 1 o'clock. I believe I work from 1 to 4, ironically enough, and then we can go live again around 4 o'clock to see what she has to say and then discuss that. I'd like to open up the panel during that live. If anybody else wants to come up and join, we'll do that again. And I like to hear other people's thoughts. I don't know.
Yeah,
What do you guys think?
don't be scared to come on up just because you think differently. People are entitled to their own thoughts, points of views, and feelings because they're not us.
Everyone but
That's
Ringo.
okay.
Just kidding. Wally said, I don't get why people don't question those types of things. Whenever Trump is himself is saying that he doesn't want to have a tax on Social Security, why would he say that if he wants to turn around and get rid of it? Doesn't make much sense. I mean,
I
just like
wish
no
they
tax
would
on
get rid
tips,
of it.
just like well, yeah. So there's a lot of things though that Wally they won't take his word for, they just won't. And I guess time will tell. We'll see what he actually does in office. I will say he's one of the only presidents that kept almost every campaign promise from election to when he was actually in office in 2016. He fulfilled more campaign promises than any other candidate. And I really hope and pray that we are looking at the same type of results during this next election, during this next term that he services. I don't even know. Hillary never conceded. Trump didn't either for 2020. Yeah. So I don't know. Do you guys have any other thoughts? I have 20 minutes.
I have lots of thoughts, but just getting them out to make sense sometimes is difficult for me.
Well, since he didn't get that last 4 years when he wanted to, I'm hoping that he is able to go into Detroit and help that city. That was something he was really passionate about and wanted to do. And those people need help. They really, really need help. They've needed help for a really long time. It has been a long, horrible slide for those people. And I hope he does help that city.
Yeah. I'm just like scrolling through Facebook real quick to see if there's like any key points or anything that we should like really discuss or look at. And one of my friends posted on Facebook and was like, well, it looks like I'm gonna have money to start drinking again. Man,
Look,
she's like a party girl. She's always been a little bit more, you know, out there. But it was just kind of funny seeing, like, yay, gonna have drinking
there have
money.
been some funny memes. I saw one last night that a friend of mine had posted. They said that there's been so many yard signs for so many months, so many yard signs that he accidentally voted for a realtor. And I thought that was really good. You see all the yard signs and
Oh, you know who we haven't followed up on was Lucifer.
oh yeah,
Let me go look at that real quick.
is Red Rock in here?
Yep. Red Rock went to bed. Good night, Red Rock. She totally typed it, but I think we were like
Oh,
in the middle of talking.
yeah.
He was able to actually pull 1,493 votes.
Well, there you go.
Mm-hmm. Goodness, I guess like some of these states, it shocks me how low their voting numbers are. I mean, I guess there's a lot of mountains and not livable land in some of these places, but I guess being from PA, like we always have millions of votes, and then to see states like be at 90% reporting and they have 500 votes or 500,000 votes, I'm like, wow, y'all really do
Hey,
live like in the roar. Like there
you
really is
you
nothing
made a
there, is
point.
there?
Yeah, you made a point last night about the voting, how the voting amped up from say 2016 and 2020. It amped up.
Hmm.
Do you remember how many? What did you say it went from what?
Hold on, I'll pull it up.
Uh, okay. I was going to show Pete that because he saw something like that this morning.
Hmm. Let me see. Let me see if I can find the same article that I had because it showed all of the
I agree, Skinny. It should be a choice.
voter turnout. Okay. So here is this. So this is where you have to wonder um about what Trump's saying whenever you look at these numbers as we go down here. So we had literally 20 million people more vote in 2020. Wait, turnout. Yeah. So this is how many people were eligible to vote. And this is how many people voted in 2020. Now, if you look at all the other years, though, look, like in 2016, it was 136 million. In 2012, it was 129 million. And that you got to remember in 2008 and 2012, those were like record numbers because of Obama, right? We went from like 1 million, 105 million to 122 million to record numbers for Obama. 131 million people voted. 2012, 129 million people voted. 2016, 136 million people voted. To 2020, 158 million people voted. There was 81 million votes for Joe Biden in 2020, and Trump had, I believe it was 72 million. Now, this current election, let me show that real quick. So this current election, we're at 69,920,000 for Kamala and 71 million and a handful for Trump. So that means that there was 137 million people. So we're back down. So where's the other 20 million voters that turned out for the Biden election? And this is where I struggle with, was there fraud or not? Because you're really going to tell me that Joe Biden motivated 20 million more people to just randomly vote in that last election? I
No.
struggle with that. You know what I mean? I really do. 20 million people that all came in suitcases from PA at 2 a.m. Not all from PA, but I do struggle with the realities behind that. I mean, what are the chances? Now, don't get me wrong. I realize our eligible population has also consistently gone up. And so that is going to lead to more voters each year because there are more people. But it's not proportional. Like the growth of how many people start voting, it's just not proportional. If you look at the presents, I think it shows it better to see like, hey, you're in the 60% range turnout year after year after year, and then out of nowhere 65%. Like it's a big difference.
It is. I mean, it could have happened, but
Yeah.
if you're going by what had been happening in previous years,
Right.
it wasn't. I just don't think that it was so bad.
I'm interested to see how many people were eligible to vote this year versus how many voted though. Like how much did our population that was eligible change for it to go back down to 137, 138 million? Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Because it's growing consistently by 1 or 2 million each time. I wish that more people would vote. If you know somebody who doesn't think it's serious, who doesn't think it's a big deal, I wish that more of the population that is eligible to vote would go to the polls because it's just that important. And I think that we would get a true read on what the actual public is looking for, what the actual majority of our country really wants in office. So the struggle is real.
Oh, my
800.
sister's listening.
Oh, hi, sister.
Woohoo.
Hi, sister. What you doing?
Sister Cindy.
Final thought. Good game. Yeah. Good game, guys. Good game. Good
Good
game.
game.
Everybody slap each other's butts and shake hands, and we'll watch the speech together later. Oh,
Well, thank
man.
you so much.
No, thank you.
I'll be around, you know me.
Yepers.
For-
I hope I've been praying for your healing and stuff like that too. I hope you're
Oh, thank you.
feeling good.
I'm feeling better.
And
Just every day.
give Pete a high five for me. Tell him happy
I
birthday.
will. I sure will. Thank you so much.
Okay.
I'll see y'all
Bye.
guys later. Bye.
Oh, bye, Cooter G. You came in at the end. You got to rewind. See you guys at 4.